Hello, everyone. This is Barbara Humpton, CEO of Siemens USA, and you're listening to the Optimistic Outlook podcast. This weekend marks the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. And at Siemens, I'm sure we have plenty of racing fans. But I have a feeling we'll have even more folks watching Sunday than we usually would. And here's why. This year, Siemens is proud to serve as the primary partner for Andretti Global's number 27 Siemens Honda, driven by Kyle Kirkwood, a three-time IndyCar race winner. Siemens is Andretti Global's official software technology provider. Their team is using a suite of technology offered on our Siemens accelerator platform. That includes our comprehensive digital twin, which Andretti Global uses to simulate, optimize, and predict the performance of their race cars with unparalleled accuracy. This is reducing the need for time-consuming physical test runs so they can focus more energy on race day, which got me thinking. This weekend, as millions of fans watch this race, they might not be thinking about the state-of-the-art industrial technologies at work behind the scenes. They're probably more focused on the race. But I'll tell you what inspires us at Siemens. It's the reality that these tools helping racing teams break new barriers, helping cars to improve consistently throughout a season, can do the same for manufacturers nationwide. These technologies also promise to support the national goal of revitalizing American manufacturing. For decades, America seemed to be moving away from manufacturing. Many factories closed, industry's contribution to the U.S. economy shrank. But at Siemens, we see a bright future in American industry. We see a comeback underway. A national goal to revitalize American industry has gained real momentum. There are three ways in particular that we can do this. And hey, as I get into this, let's see how many racing puns you can catch. First, we need to develop the workforce. For years, U.S. manufacturing growth has been limited by a talent shortage, with more than 500,000 open positions nationwide. Let's inspire a new generation of industry leaders while bringing people off the sidelines into new manufacturing careers. Second, we need to empower all manufacturers to deploy advanced technologies. We're encouraged by tax proposals in Congress to incentivize investment in new factories and new equipment. Equally important to reindustrializing America is successfully transforming the backbone of our industrial base in the small and medium-sized businesses, representing 98% of American manufacturers. Third, we need to ensure all industrial enterprises have access to reliable, affordable, abundant power. Power interruptions can lead to significant losses in productivity and revenue for manufacturers. As new AI data centers create unprecedented electricity demand, this is a critical time to modernize grids and scale energy-saving technologies. Now, I'll get into how we address these priorities, but let me first share a couple additional trends with you that shape my own optimistic outlook. First, we see sustained movement toward what we call globalization. For decades, we witnessed what some called globalization on steroids. We made our manufacturing decisions based on labor costs, trying to squeeze the next nickel out of production. Then COVID hit us, revealing a need for resilience in our supply chains. This has led to a new mindset. Think globally, produce locally. Which leads me to another key trend, where we are with the digital transition and the capabilities this is giving us to make globalization a reality. We've gotten used to having a digital world that advances very rapidly and an industrial world moving much more slowly. Digital has Moore's law. Industry, the physical world, has the laws of physics and lots of constraints. Nearly 2 decades ago now, we saw the release of the iPhone and the digital world leap forward. But technology has a way of surprising us. When one domain sprints far ahead, there's often a bounce back, a moment when another sector suddenly catches up by putting those advances to work. That's exactly what's happening now, as the digital revolution born in Silicon Valley moves into industry. Now it's the industrial world that's making leaps. The digital and industrial revolutions are no longer on separate timelines. The tech and the industrial sector are no longer merely collaborating. They've merged. They've fused together into something new, what we're calling the industrial tech sector. This is industry's 2007 moment. Now, you might say, Barbara, wait a minute. I've been hearing this smartphones to smart factories storyline for years. Why now? Why is now the time? And the answer is very simple: AI. We know there's a lot of focus on large language models and innovating with open data, but there's still another area where breakthroughs are happening, one that maybe isn't as well known, and that's with industrial AI. Industrial AI uses secure data sets coming from sensors in a controlled environment that enable users to leverage machine learning. Did you know that in manufacturing, 80% of data is wasted? Well, we're now able to capture that data and draw conclusions that would literally be impossible for any one of us to do if we were standing on that factory floor. Industrial AI is not only helping teams leverage data, it's making other core technologies like digital twins and automation more powerful. It's even giving us generative applications. You might recall my recent episode with our head of AI research, Olympia Brickus. Olympia introduced us to industrial co-pilots that make it much easier for teams to transform their operations. And here's the thing: with America's leadership in AI and innovation, no other nation has a stronger foundation for this new industrial tech sector to flourish. This ability we have in America to combine our tech know-how and industrial know-how is the spark for revitalizing and growing American manufacturing. An example of this in action is our new high-tech factory in Fort Worth, Texas. Digital twins made it possible to build the Fort Worth plant in just 15 months. Like Andretti Global tests race cars virtually, we built this facility first in the digital world. In the digital world, we optimized its design and how it would operate, all before we started investing in physical materials. Meanwhile, inside the plant, our team leverages the same technologies we bring to customers as the world's largest provider of industrial hardware and software. Our team uses Siemens automation technology to increase productivity, efficiency, and speed. They use Siemens software to capture and analyze data from the shop floor in real time. That means if something goes wrong, the team can address problems before something breaks down, so production doesn't miss a beat. These are early days in the new industrial tech sector at work. Behind the scenes of American manufacturing today, workers not only have processes to run or components to make or machines to maintain, they're empowered by state-of-the-art technologies that give them license to innovate in a way that's never been possible before. In this new industrial tech sector, industrial AI is helping workers unlock vast troves of unused data. Digital twins are helping them to create virtual replicas of and simulate physical products, systems, and processes. Software-defined automation is transforming rigid hardware controls into flexible code. And industrial co-pilots are processing that code through simple conversation, no coding manual required. So let's return now to the three undeniable areas of opportunity we can tap into to drive forward a new future for American industry. First, building a skilled workforce. American industry is only as strong as the people behind it, and our technologies exist not to replace, but to expand what's humanly possible. A workforce development agenda that brings people off the sidelines and endeavors not to leave anyone behind is a win-win-win. It means more businesses are gaining a competitive advantage. It means more people are moving into the middle class. And it means we're raising national productivity, even in the face of worker shortages, by making the current workforce even more productive. To put it simply, I think the workforce solution is to create an environment surrounding the industrial tech sector where people aren't running into qualifications obstacles. Instead, let's make it so there are only two key qualities required to come on board and grow in our careers: curiosity and initiative. Particularly in combination with generative AI, the technologies now empowering workers present us with an opportunity to lower barriers to entry. Workers can now quickly learn factory roles that previously might have required more specialized education and skills. We're leaning into this. In fact, in Fort Worth, where Siemens is hiring more than 800 people, a fast-track training program led by retired teachers is bringing people from pizza delivery drivers to fast food workers onto our team who had no previous industrial experience. Regional collaboration across business, government, education, and philanthropy can engage a new generation of industry leaders and put them on pathways to high-paying, sustaining careers. Now let's focus on another part of the backbone of American industry. It's those small and medium-sized manufacturers. It's those manufacturers who, as this new tech sector unfolds, are already heavily invested in buildings and hardware. It's exciting to welcome American manufacturing's high-tech future and to see new factories sprouting up. But again, we also have to challenge ourselves by asking, how do we bring transformation to the thousands of plants that are already here? New manufacturing plants will invest in the latest technologies. Existing plants have a more difficult task ahead of them. They need to integrate these technologies into layers of legacy operations. The industrial tech sector will help to bridge the gap between how fast technology changes and how fast physical environments can change. But we need to go a step further. It's vital to also build ecosystems of companies and stakeholders that increase the ability of all manufacturers to transform and solve tough problems. Together, we can close that gap further by ensuring that all manufacturers have access to the capital and strategies they need to compete and thrive in the new tech sector. Lastly, the energy challenge. We think the U.S. energy landscape has reached an inflection point. The way I see it, energy is prosperity. And America is energy prosperous, but the true superpower is the ability to supply energy where it's needed. And today, the big drivers of current and future demand, growth in American manufacturing and the growth of AI data centers, have at least one thing in common. They're largely powered by the grid. Put simply, our economy can only grow as fast as our grids can supply the power. Energy efficiency helped us experience decades of flat electricity output. Now, with data centers, with new manufacturing, with a greater trend towards electrification, demand is soaring. Everyone is asking, can the grid catch up? I think it can, but I would encourage everyone to try to think about this a little differently. We see a lot of focus on transmission challenges, on permitting. Let's get that solved. But instead of only looking at how we transmit electricity, let's also look at a way to bring technology to where we already have generation, with the goal of increasing capacity. At the edge of the grid, where electricity meets the power grid user, software can help us to better manage power supplies. We can deploy building technologies that continue to advance energy efficiency solutions. We can also invest in microgrids within this larger system that build the foundation to expand and optimize grid connections to deliver more power reliably and affordably. We're doing this at one of our manufacturing plants in Wendell, North Carolina. We've installed a solar-powered microgrid. It'll be the largest in Duke Energy's network. We've invested $36 million in this, and ultimately it will drive forward our sustainability goals. It'll make us more energy efficient to produce cost savings, and it will actually supply nearly all of our plant's power. Together, we can help deliver more power reliably and affordably, make the most efficient use of every electron, and integrate more power sources. With that, to Andretti Global and Kyle Kirkwood, we wish you a fast, safe, and successful race. May the data work in your favor. And to my listeners, I hope you share our optimism and want to partner with us to drive the nation to a brighter future for American manufacturing. Because it's not just an opportunity to grow U.S. GDP and productivity, this will strengthen the American dream. And like the drivers this weekend, when it comes to this goal, we think it's time to hit that accelerator and compete to win in the global economy. Let's start those engines and get to work.
Please follow us on social media and on your favorite podcasting platform. Thank you for tuning in.